All right, now all of these rules are extremely important and you should be very comfortable with them. So comfortable that I really recommend memorizing all of them. Usually a lot of practice with them will get you really comfortable with recognizing when you should and should not use them. In addition, you should be so comfortable with these that you can use more than one of them in a single problem. So maybe you'll end up using the power rule and then end up using the product rule, all in the same one to condense and simplify an expression. That's how comfortable with these rules you really should be. So we can get a better handle and at least get a little bit more comfortable with these, we'll give it a try. We'll try and use many of these rules together to simplify the following expressions. Okay, so this first one is 5k to the third power all over 3, and all of that is being squared. So one of the very first rules that I'm going to use is I'm going to give that 2 to the numerator and to the denominator of that fraction. And let's see, got to be very careful on doing this. So the top is 5k to the third power, and the bottom is just 3. So we'll give a 2 to each of those. Okay, now that I've taken care of that rule, I can see I have a little bit more work to do in top. I have multiple parts in there, all being multiplied, so I'm going to give the 2 to each of those parts. So here's my 5, here's my k cubed. So we will give the 2 to the 5, and we'll give the 2 to the k cubed. Okay, now that we've spread out our variable amongst all the parts that were being multiplied and divided, let's see if we can continue. So 5 squared, that'd be a 25. And now I have k to the third, and all of that is being squared. So what rule should we use for that? Oh, since we only have a single base in there, this is that situation where we multiply the two together. So this will be k to the 6th power. And now I simply have a 9 on the bottom from 3 squared. Okay, I don't see anything else that I can combine or any other rules that I can use. So this guy is good to go. So again, be careful on using multiple rules. All right, let's take a peek at this second one here. This one is -3 times x times y squared, and all of that is being cubed. Then in addition, that is being multiplied by x squared times y, and all that to the 4th power. So lots and lots of different exponents flying around. Well, let's recognize that we do have some multiplication on the insides of those parentheses, so I will be able to spread out that exponent amongst all of its parts. Let's see, what parts do I have in there? Well, I have a -3, I have an x, and I have y squared. So we'll put a 3 on each of those. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other one. I have an x squared and a y to the 4th. And both of these, it looks like they need a 4. So x squared to the 4th power, y to the 4th to the 4th power. Not bad, not bad. Okay, now that I've applied that rule, let's go through and start cleaning other things up. So starting at the very beginning, I have -3 to the 3rd power. So that's -3 times -3 times that -3. That'll give us a -27. All right, now I have x to the 3rd power just as it is. Ooh, and it looks like this next part, that's a good place where I can multiply the exponents together. So y to the 6th. All right, continuing on. Here's a couple of more situations where, again, I can just multiply those exponents together. So x to the 8th, y to the 16th. Not bad, not bad. Now it's important not to stop there. All of these pieces are still being multiplied together. And I can see that I have a couple of x's still and a couple of y's. Let's use our commutative property for multiplication to really change the order of these parts. So x to the 3rd, x to the 8th, y to the 6th, y to the 16th. The reason why I'm doing this is so we can better see that I need to apply one more of our rules. That'd be the product rule. So both of these have the same base, and I can simply add their exponents together, the 3 and the 8. So negative 27, x to the 3 plus 8 is 11. Now we can do the same thing down here with our y's, since they have the same exponent or the same basis as well, and they're being multiplied. So y to the 6 plus 16 would be 22. All right, now we've finally got down to our answer and applied all the rules that we could. So again, be very comfortable with mixing and matching and putting these rules together. Just be very careful that you do them correctly.